some of them have idea about DevOps, some is not have idea about DevOps. So in the workshop, how I'm going to take it is, first of all, I'll give idea about the DevOps. Idea on the DevOps with that, and what problem does your DevOps solves? Okay, what problem does your DevOps solves? Okay, other patti idea na kuduthra. After that, we'll be getting into the projects. Okay, after that, we'll be getting into the project. Clear? Okay, we'll be getting into the project. Okay, so before getting into the projects, okay, you may have doubt. Okay, what doubt is? எப்படி வந்து நாலேஜே இல்லாம எப்படி ப்ராஜெக்ட் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்னா, see, this is about getting idea about DevOps. அப்போ உங்களுக்கு வந்து நீங்க பிகினரா இருந்தாலுமே நீங்க வந்து ஆல்ரெடி DevOps பத்தி ஒன்றும் கூட தெரியலன்னா கூட நாட் அ ப்ராப்ளம். எவ்வளோ பேசிக்கா அந்த ப்ராஜெக்ட்ஸை வந்து எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ண முடியுமோ அவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். அட்லீஸ்ட் உங்களுக்கு ஒரு 100%, ஓகே, யூ வில் பி கெட்டிங், if you're not getting 100% knowledge from that, at least you'll be getting 80% or 70% of knowledge from that projects. Okay, adilendum unga career you can start doing. Okay, you can just start doing. Okay, fine. So this is how it goes. Okay, so let's start it. Okay, if you don't have knowledge on DevOps also, not a problem. Let me explain it from basics. Okay, so let's start it. Okay, so before getting into DevOps, okay, let's take a DevOps CI/CD symbol. Okay. Okay, so before getting into the DevOps, let's understand what IT companies do. Okay, let's understand what IT companies do. Okay, basically they're developing the application. Am I right? Your IT companies are developing the application. Am I right? Okay, so why they're developing the application? To solve some problem. Okay, real time problems solve பண்றதுக்கு they are developing the application. Okay, so you can take any kind of problems. Okay, for example, WhatsApp solves some problems, communication problems. Okay, likewise, OTT platforms solves some problem. இது மாதிரி எல்லா சாஃப்ட்வேருமே ஒரு ப்ராப்ளமை சால்வ் பண்ணும். ஓகே, ஸோ அப்போ ஐடி கம்பெனிஸ் வாட் தே டூ, தே ஐடென்டிஃபை த ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ். அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணுறாங்க, அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணி அந்த ப்ராப்ளம்கான சொல்யூஷன் தே ஆர் connecting with the software by developing the software. Okay, so what I'm coming to say is normally IT companies develop the applications, maintain the applications, etc. Good. Ipo, what is my requirement is, okay, requirement na solren. Okay, let's consider two use case or rendu use case irukkalam. Okay, let's take two use case. Okay, normally let's consider two company called let's consider Flipkart and Amazon. So most of them have been shopped in these two websites. Flipkart learning shopping பண்ணிருப்பீங்க, Amazon shopping பண்ணிருப்பீங்க. Okay, let's take a small use case மட்டும் எடுக்கிறேன். Okay, now like coming days, you know that lot of festival season is coming. We have Christmas, we have New Year, we have Pongal holidays, etc. Pongal festivals, etc. So we have a lot of festivals upcoming days. We have on upcoming days. So what I'm coming to say is, என்ன நான் சொல்றேன் அப்படின்னா, அப்போ Flipkart and Amazon என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, they'll be make them more ready for that sales. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அந்த சேல்ஸ்க்கு ரொம்ப ப்ரிப்பேர் ஆகி ரெடியா இருப்பாங்க. ஓகே, ஃபைன். உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் அந்த சேல்ஸ் டைம்ஸ்ல லைக் கிறிஸ்மஸ், நியூ இயர், on those sales times, lot of offers will be going. Adhe many you can see the websites, there will be changes in the websites UI allow, you can see the changes, but no I think see now also some sales is going. Okay, and UI la nariya difference ellame irukku. Okay, let's say Amazon also. Okay, got it. Okay, fine. Okay, இப்போ என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் அப்படின்னா, okay, let's consider upcoming Monday, Tuesday, okay, or next week, they have to go for sales, like big billion day sales, any sales, okay. அப்போ அதுக்கு என்ன பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னா, they are developing the application, like அந்த already develop பண்ண applicationல they are doing some modification. அந்த ஃபெஸ்டிவலுக்கு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றதுக்காக they are doing some modification, okay. அப்போ என்ன பண்றாங்க, அந்த கோட்ல they'll be doing some changes, okay, they'll be doing some changes, okay, fine. Now what happened is, அந்த application, in that application, what they do is they'll be changing the features and they'll be adding some more features, correct? On existing the developed application to look more interactive in sales, to give excitement on sales, they'll be doing some changes in the coding. Am I right? Good. Okay. Once developer written the code, listen, once developer written the code, okay, okay, once developer written the code, okay, once developer written the code, what happened? Okay, that code should be built. Okay, the code should be built. Okay, once your developer written the code, that code cannot be shared to the production. Okay, once you written the code, that code cannot be shared to the production. Like, what is production? Okay, let's learn a new term called production. Okay, production. Okay, so what is production? Okay, what are the application? What are the application you're accessing? Example, I'm accessing Flipkart website, I'm accessing Amazon website, I'm accessing Instagram, any kind of social media. Whatever application you access, that application would be running in the, okay, compulsorily, mandatorily, that application will be running in the production server. Why? Because in production server only the end user will have access. Okay, okay, so we all end users of Flipkart, we all end users of Instagram, we all end users of Amazon. So as an end user, we'll be having a access to only to the production server. Okay, only to the production server. Okay, so end user will have a access to production server. Got it? uh, Clear? Okay, so your end user will have access to production server. That means what I'm coming to say, your application will be whatever application you can able to access, whatever application you can able to access, that application will be running in the production server. That means Flipkart, Amazon, Instagram, that all website can be accessed by me because I'm an end user. So that applications are running in the production server. Now my question is, just okay, after developer develop the code, can that code can be shared to the end user? Directly that code can be shared to the end user. See, whether end user understand the program, okay, whether end user does understand the program or they have knowledge on the program, no. Okay, they don't have any knowledge on the program. They don't have knowledge on any of the how to run the application, how to compile the application. They don't have any idea. Am I right? So what do we have to do? So we can't share the direct code to the end user. We can't able to share the direct code to the end user. So what we have to do? We have to present as a application. We have to present as a application to the end user. For example, you just make a film. Okay, you just make a film without converting that film into movies. Okay, while taking a movie, okay, while in shooting, we'll be taking scene by scene. Can you present all the scene by scene to the end user? whether that will be the good presentation, okay, whether they can understand the film, whether they have that much knowledge, okay, like for example, if you present scene by scene to the end user, whether they can rearrange proper arrangement of the scenes, whether they know, no, they don't know. So what do you have to do? So what you do, you'll go for production work. Okay, you'll be going for production work. So in the production work, what you do, you'll be merging the scenes. You'll be merging the scenes. You'll be cutting the unwanted scenes and you'll be converting entire movie, and you'll be presenting as an entire movie to your customers. Good. Yeah, that's good. So as I said, okay, as a developer, after developing the code, you can't able to share the code to your end user. What do you have to do? You have to do the build process. What is build process? Okay, normally in your build process, what happen is, okay, normally in your build process, okay, normally in your build process, what happen is, okay, your code, let's consider you're developing the code using Java. Okay, you're developing the code using Java. After developing the code in Java, okay, what you have to do is you have to compile this code. You have to compile this code. You have to compile. This is the build process. You have to compile this code. Then what you have to do after compiling, you have to pack the code. You have to pack the code because you'll be having lot of lines of code, lot of files. So you'll be converting into package or you'll be converting into application. Okay. Normally, what is build process? A build process nothing but converting your source code or converting your program to application is called as build process. So in build, okay. So in build, what happens? Normally, your code will be converted into application. Now, what we can do? You can share that application to your end user. You can present that good application to your end user. Clear? Okay. So let's consider this is a stage one. Okay, let's consider this as stage one. Okay, let's consider a company called Flipkart. Okay, in stage one, what they're doing, they're just developing the code. Okay, after developing the code, what they do in stage two, they'll be pushing the code to GitHub. Okay, so I'll show you. I'll just draw a small diagram. Okay. Okay. Normally, your developer will develop the code. Okay, that's a that's a main process. Okay. The first stage is, okay, the first stage is after developer, okay, after developer develop the code, what he will do is he will push the code to GitHub. What he'll do, he'll push the code to GitHub. So what developer will do, he'll push the code to GitHub. So code வந்து GitHubல push பண்ணுவாங்க. Okay. He or she will push the code to GitHub. Okay. So code develop பண்ணியாச்சு. Okay, your code have been developed. Why they are pushing to GitHub? See, GitHub is a centralized code server. Okay, ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா நீங்க okay, if you want to share your code to your colleagues, if you want to work with your colleagues, if you want to work with your team, okay, நீங்க ஒரு டீமா ஒர்க் பண்ணணும் because you know in company, okay, a developer will develop the code, a testing team will test that code. Likewise, lot of them will have access to the code. So as a developer, I can't able to share individual team. Okay, I can't able to share to test a team individually. I can't able to share the code to it. It will be very difficult. Am I right? Let's consider in my company, 20 teams are working. As a developer, I want to share the code individually to the all of the team. Whether it's easy, okay, but if you're sharing your code individually to all the team, whether it will be easy. My question mark is whether, okay, whether if you write the code once time, okay, just you write the code once, உங்க code just நீங்க ஒரு டைம் எழுதிட்டு ஷேர் பண்ணா okay. You just write the code once, and if you share, that's okay, fine. But what you will do, we'll be updating the code. Whenever you update the code, you want to share the updated code to the all the team. So for example, today I just updated some programs, some source codes, okay, some logics in the source codes. Now what I want to immediately I want to share that updated code to all the team. If tomorrow I do some changes, I want to send the updated code. So likewise, whenever I update the code, I want to share to the all the teams. Whether it's easy to manage sharing code whenever you update, sharing code to the teams whenever you update. Whether it's easy, no, benefited. Okay, good. So what I'm coming to say is, whenever I update as a developer, whenever I update the code, I want to share to all of my teams, whether it's easy task, no. So what I do, whenever I update the code, I'll be storing my code to the centralized server. I'll be storing my code to the centralized server. Okay, I'll be storing my code to the centralized server. Okay, now what I can do, whenever I update the code, I'll be sharing the code to this centralized server. Now what happened? The team, whenever I update the code, I'll be pushing the code. Okay, I'll be pushing the code. That means I'll be uploading the code to the centralized server. Push the code to the centralized server. Now what happened? Whenever I push updated code, whenever I push updated code, my all of my team will be notified. Okay, whenever I update the code and I push the code to GitHub, once I push the updated code to GitHub, all of my team will be notified. What they can do, they can download this updated code from this centralized server that's called GitHub. So as I said, the one of the problem what GitHub solves is we can collaborate and we can work. Okay, whenever I update the code, I'll push in the GitHub. That's all. Those who want to get my code, those who want to use my code, they can get from GitHub. That's all. Okay, fine. So that's a stage one. This is a stage one. Okay, this is stage one. So once let's make it small. My developer is a centralized server. Okay, stage one. Push your code to GitHub. That's a stage one. Stage one, good. Okay, what is stage two? Once your developer push the code to GitHub, the next stage is build stage. The next stage is build stage. The stage two is build stage. Okay. So what happen is who will build this code? My build team. Okay. Every company will have some build team or operation team. So what the team will do is the team will go and download this code from GitHub. Okay. What the team will do? The team will go and download the code from GitHub and the build team will be building the code. That means they will compile the code. They'll be packing into application. Okay. Fine. Now what is the problem is, let's consider your developer pushed the code at the time of 12, midnight 12. Okay, on midnight 12, okay, on midnight 12, your developer pushed the code. Okay, that's fine. But your build team is not available. They're not available. Okay, that means what I'm going to say is at 12, midnight 12, your code is pushed. Okay, but at 12 midnight, midnight of 12, your build team is not available because at the time they are not working because they comes under day shift. Let's consider like that. Okay, now what happened? Now the build process is passed. Okay, the build process is passed. Okay, because of my build team is not available. Now what happened? On next day, my build team will log in to the machine around 10 a.m. After that, they'll start the build process. After that, my build team will start the build process. Now, what is the problem? There is some, okay, there is some lag between development and build process. Why? Because My developer pushed the code at midnight 12. But after next day only, my build team will come and will they build the code. There's some gap. Okay. Okay, fine. That's not a problem. Okay, that's called build process. Okay, you're building the code. Okay, what is the next? Okay, test. Okay. Testing is more important. Why? Because let's consider you just go and buy a car. Okay, you வந்து ஒரு car வந்து buy பண்றீங்க. You go and buy a car. Now, what is the problem is after exploring the car, after you buy the car and after you drive the car, lot of issues you face. Lot of issues you face in that car. So what you will do? What is the problem? What you will do? You just buy a car, you face a lot of issue in that car. So what the word next will come from your mouth? Okay, the car is not properly tested. Am I right? Okay, so you go and buy a car, but whatever you expected, that's not your car is not your car. That's not okay. It does not satisfy your requirements. Whatever you expect, it does not satisfy your requirements. Okay, you have like you expected that your car will give more mileage. You expected your car will be give more performance, but whatever you expected, that's not fulfilled by your car. So what do you do? Okay, fine. This car is not properly tested. But what do? You just drive your friend's same car. That car is more giving mileage, performance also good. That means your car is not properly tested. Am I right? So what I'm coming to say is you just in manufacturing unit, okay, அவங்க வந்து கார் பில்ட் பண்றாங்க, okay, manufacture பண்றாங்க, they're manufacturing the car without doing testing. If the car comes to showroom, whether the car will give good opinion to the users. You just manufacture a car, you don't do any testing, you just bring the car to uh, production. That means bring the car to showroom. When you buy the car, whether the user will be get satisfied? No. Whether we get good opinion? No. So what I'm coming to say is, what are the time you spend in manufacturing, more than that time you have to spend in testing. Am I right or not? So okay, let's consider to manufacture car. It's not exact value. I'm just saying, for example, for manufacturing a car, it takes around 1 month. For example, for manufacturing one car, it takes around 1 month. Let's take. You have to test that car around 2 months. Why? Because it should fulfill your customer requirements. Okay, because if any issue is occurred when it's used by your customer. Okay, let's consider when your customer drive the car, it does not give mileage. So your customer will get bad experience. So we have to test it. We want to test more. Like same way, without testing, we can't bring the application to the production. Without testing, we can't bring the application to the production. Why? Let's consider, I just developed the application, but I didn't tested it. I just bring to the production. That means production means my end user can use the application. While my end user using the Flipkart application, they can't able to select this image. They can't able to do the cart. They can't able to complete the payment. They face a lot of issues. Whether they will get a good opinion of your application, whether they'll get good opinion of your application, no. What they'll do, see, this website is not properly working, so let's move to Amazon. That what the mindset they have. Am I not wrong? Okay, because nowadays no one will have patience. Am I right? So you don't wait for anyone, so you will not spend more time on this application because it's not properly working. That means it's not properly tested. So what I'm coming to say is testing is more important. Testing stage is more important. Testing. Okay, just understand the workflow. That means the software development workflow. Once on the software development workflow understand panding up now. Once you understand that workflow, I'll be identifying the problems. What are the problems in that workflow? To solve these problems, I'll be introducing the DevOps. So that's what we are coming to discuss. We are seeing what are the problems you face in this software development lifecycle. So what are the problems? There's a delay between developer and build team. Okay. Okay, let's go for stage 3. Okay. So in stage 3, what do you do? You will be uh, testing your application. Okay. Before that, I want to say something. Okay. Before that, I want to say something. Okay. To start the build process, you need a server, build server. So what you can do, my Flipkart team is creating that build server manually. After that, they do the test. Like same way, for doing testing, we need test servers. So I'll be creating test servers manually, and I'll be testing the application on that test server. Okay, now what is the problem is, once build process is completed, okay, once build process is completed, next is testing. Now what happens? Testing team is not available on that time. The testing team is not available on that time. So now what happened? There is a delay between build and testing. For example, my build team pushed the code around afternoon, okay, 2 p.m. Okay, they pushed the code around 2 p.m. afternoon, but my testing team is not available around 2 p.m. They're available around 6 p.m. only. So there's a delay between build team and test team also. Okay. Testing can be classified into 2 ways. You can either go for manual testing or automation testing. Okay. What is manual testing? Okay. For example, what manual tester will do is they'll be writing a test cases. Okay. What your manual tester will do? They'll be writing the test cases. Okay. They'll start writing the test cases. What kind of test cases up now? You can see whether we can able to log in with the correct username and password. They'll go and check. If be able to log in with current username password, your test case 1 is passed. Next test case, whether be able to log in to the account using bad username and password. That's a test case 2. Just go and enter your username wrongly and enter your password wrongly. And if you're not able to sign in, good. But if you're able to sign in, then your test case is what happened. That's all. Like fail, your test case fails because it's not signing. If you give your wrong username and if you give your wrong password, it does not allow you to sign into the account. So that means what I'm going to say is your test case is failed. Likewise, for everything, they'll write as test cases. Okay, if you do cart, whether you can able to see the products like that to entire application, they'll do the testing. Okay, so manual testing means they'll be writing these test cases. After writing the test cases, they'll start testing the manually. How manually they test? They just go to the application, they just go to the login. Okay, login, and they try to enter the username and password manually. This is called manual testing. But when it comes to automation testing, anyone have any idea about automation testing? யாராச்சும் ஐடியா இருக்கா? Anyone have any idea about automation testing? என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க? Manual testing க்கும் automation testing க்கும் என்ன difference? Anyone? Yeah. Anyone have any idea? Okay, Selenium code. What about others? Automate the app using code, write the scripts and run it. Good, good. Super, friends. Good. Super. Good. See, that's all. Automation testing, no. Okay, I'll just show the test cases. Now, what I'm going to do is now test case the product. Okay, I'm going to write a test cases for Instagram login feature. Login feature ke I'm going to write a test cases. As a see, you can see என்னென்ன test cases இருக்கு. Okay, we have a lot of test cases. So this test cases, verify login with valid credential. Correct username, just give your correct username and password and try to log in. If you try to log in, if you log in, then test cases pass. Good. This is the negative test cases. This is the negative. This is the positive. Yeah, the positive test cases. Login ஆகுதுன்றது positive. Login ஆகணும். Login ஆகிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா successful. That's positive test cases. இந்த test cases எப்படின்னா invalid username password கொடுக்குறீங்க. You're giving invalid password. அப்போ login invalid password கொடுத்து login ஆகலாமா? If you give invalid password, whether it should log in? No. It's called negative test cases. It's called negative test cases. So if it's login, your test cases fail. If it's not logging, your test cases pass. So this is how your test cases will be there, all the test cases. Now what you can do, instead of manually you go and check these test cases, okay, just manually go and test these test cases. What you can do, you can say, write a Python program for above test case. That's all. Now what happened? A Python program will be written. Okay, so a Python program, Selenium use பண்ணி ஒரு Python program எழுதிருப்பாங்க. What this program will do is, instead of you go and open your application and instead of you go and test on all over your application, this program will open your browser. This program will start testing your application. How you do manually, like same way, this program will start testing. It will go and enter the, okay, it will interact with the browser. Okay, by interacting with the browser, what it will do, it will try to enter the username and password, right? A correct username and password, wrong username and password. Okay, so this is how, okay, this is how what it will do. This is how it happens. Okay, so I'm completed automation testing, but got job in AWS. Okay, that's good. Okay, fine. Because nowadays testings are done by AI, because it's very easy. So normally your AI can write the test cases instead of human write the test cases. Your AI can write the test cases. So a lot of AI tools are contributing more works on testings. Okay, because in development AI can't able to contribute directly, because AI can't directly develop the applications, but it can take help of human prompt and it can develop the application, but it can't directly develop. Okay, based on a prompt, it will just give the codes. But when it comes to testing, there are some specialized LLMs, which is fine-tuned agents. That agents works is to test your application. It will be testing your application accurately. We have a lot of agents, lot of companies are using internally for testing. Okay, let's come inside our topic. So like what I said is completed AWS and testing a top job. Okay, fine. Okay, so you have to learn a lot of things. See, when it comes to cloud, you have to have a lot of knowledge in cloud. Okay, I'll be discussing in this end of workshop. Okay, fine. So upon the pathing instead of you test manually, this program will do testing. That's all. But in the program, this program should be run by you. Okay, this program should run by you. You have to run this program to start the testing process. You have to run this program to start the testing process. Okay, but end of day, every test case will be tested by your program. So it's called manual testing and automation testing. So what is the problem in this stage is this team is not available. Okay, this team is not available. So now what happened? The testing has been passed. So this is one of the drawback, because when it comes to manual testing, they have to test manually. But when it comes to automation testing, they don't want to test manually, but they have to run the Python program, right? After a developer develop the code and push the code to GitHub, after build the code, they have to get the updated application and they have to start testing. So who will run the Python program? Your test team should write the Python program. So there's some delay in between of development and build team and testing. Okay, let's come to another release. Okay, release. Now what is the problem is, you just listen. Okay, you just listen. You developer. Okay, let's consider. Okay, your developer develops the code. Okay, and your build team build the application, and your testing will do the testing code. Now what happened? My testing will start testing the code. They find some bug. Okay, my testing team and they find some bugs. Now what happened? After finding some bugs, what they will do? They'll be making that preparing a report on it, and the bugs based money they'll make a report. After making the report, what they will do? They'll share that report to the developer. Now what developer will do? Developer will start fixing that bugs. Whatever bugs identified by your testing team, your developer will start fixing that bugs. Okay, your developer will start fixing that bugs. After fixing the bugs, what we have to do? We have to start build the process. Am I right? நீங்க வந்து once உங்க டெவலப்பர் வந்து கோட் அப்டேட் பண்ணிட்டாரு, பக்ஸ் வந்து ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டாரு அப்படின்னா, what you have to do? The code again, okay, the code again should be pushed. Okay, it comes like a life cycle. Okay, it comes like a life cycle. I'll show you. See, you developer update the code. After update the code, you have to push to the GitHub. After you push the code to GitHub, your build team should get the updated code, and they have to build the code. After building the code, the test team should get the updated application. They have to do the testing again. Again, if the bugs is identified, they have to find the bugs and they have to share the report to the developer. The developer will start coding. They'll be updating the bugs and they'll be pushing again to the GitHub. Again, my build team will build the updated code. Okay, this all we'll be doing practically. Don't worry, I'll be doing practically. So once you've done the build team, again my test team want to test the application. So it comes under life cycle. Now, what is the problem is there is a delay between development to like there's a delay between build development and build and testing. Okay, there's a delay because after development, instantly your build process does not start. Okay, development நடந்த உடனே GitHubல code push பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் உடனே build process start ஆதா. Okay, once your development got over, next stage your build process starts immediately. No, அப்போ அந்த இடத்துல build team available இருந்ததா. If your build team available only, you can start doing the build process. If your build team is not available, you have to wait for it. Like same way, after build process, the testing should be started. If your testing team is available only, you can start the testing. Otherwise, you have to wait for it. So let's consider your Flipkart as a Flipkart company. You are planning to go to sales. Okay, why? Because testingல zero bugs declare ஆனதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான். Okay, in testing, after you declare zero bugs, there's no bugs in your application. At least 99.9% there's no bugs in your application. Then what you can do? You can go for release. If there is no bugs, at least 99.9% there's no bugs, you can go for a release. Release means you can give your application to the production server. Okay, now what is my question is, okay, there is some gap between this all three stages. There is some gap between all these three stages. So let's consider with this gap, can you able to reach the sales day? Can you able to achieve the sales day? Anyone? முடியுமா? Possible? Whether it's possible? இவ்வளோ ஸ்லோவா நடுவில் இவ்வளோ கேப்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா, if there is any gaps in between these stages, whether you can achieve your sales day, whether we can achieve. Anyone? Achieve பண்ண முடியுமா? Possible? Listen. What you can do is you can prepare early. All right, you can prepare early. For example, if you're planning for, okay, if you're planning for next week's sales, you should start before a month. Before a month, then you have to work பண்ணணும். But அதுலயும் ஒரு drawback இருக்கு. Okay, you have to start from before a month and you have to work on these features in these updates. But in that also we have a problem. See, okay, let's consider you just write the updated feature code, you just build the process, testing is done, there is no bugs, let's go for release. Good, let's go for release. Fine, I just released the updated features in the sales. Okay, my sales is today My sales starts at midnight. Good. What is the problem is during sales time, my customer is facing an issue in my application. During sales time, my customer is facing a issue in the application. Now, what is the problem? In a problem, as a developer, I want to fix that. Am I right or not? Immediately, I want to take action. It's called art fix. It's called art fix because it's my developers. It's developing application. Whatever it develop, okay, most probably we tested. But what happens in production when our customer access our application, they can find any kind of bugs. Rarely. Let's consider during sales time. Okay, during sales time. Okay, during sales time, you face a bug. Okay, அப்போ வந்து சேல்ஸ் டைம் அப்போ ஒரு பக் வந்து ஃபேஸ் பண்றீங்க. அந்த பக்கை வந்து வாட் யூ ஹேவ் டு டு, யூ ஹேவ் டு ஃபிக்ஸ் இமிடியேட்லி. அமேட்டரா பக்கை வந்து இமிடியேட்டா நீங்க ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணணும். நீங்க பக் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணலாம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் லெட்ஸ் கன்சிடர், ஓகே ரொம்ப சிம்பிளா சொல்றேன். லெட்ஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஓகே, I'm going to buy this iPhone 16. Okay, I'm going to buy this iPhone 16. I try to buy, but the payment is not working. I try to buy, but my payment is not working. Now you say what happened? What my company have to do? As a Flipkart company, what they have to do? They have to fix the bug immediately. Okay. So what happened? My developer will start fixing that bug. Okay, my developer will start fixing that bug. After fixing that bug, what happened? They'll push the updated code in GitHub. My build team should be start fast. They have to react fast here. If they're not reacting fast here, okay, if my build team and test team அவங்க வந்து ஃபாஸ்டா ரியாக்ட் பண்ணல அப்படின்னா அங்கே என் கஸ்டமரால ஐஃபோன் பை பண்ண முடியாது. அவங்க பேமெண்ட்டே பண்ண முடியாது. தே காண்ட் ஏபிள் டு டூ பேமெண்ட். இதனால என்ன ஆகும்? என்னோட ரெப்புடேஷன் டவுன் ஆகும். ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்லி தே கோன் பை ஐஃபோன் இந்த அமேசான். தட்ஸ் ஆல். Am I right? You just try to buy in the Flipkart, but it's the payment is not working. You will wait for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Whether you will be waiting till sales ends, wait பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பீங்களா? No. By the side, your Amazon will be running the sales time. By the side, your Amazon will be running the sales time. What you will do? You will go and buy an iPhone on that. Okay. So, in the problem, எப்படி solve பண்ணலாம்? How we can solve this problem? Okay. What I'm coming to ask is, there is no integration. See, in the process, continuous நடக்குதா? In the process, continuous நடக்குதா? Okay, this process happening continuously, right? Developer write the code. After developer write the code, continuously my build team will build the code. After build team build the code, my testing team will test the code. If they find the bugs, continuously my developer will fix the bug. Then my build team will build the updated code. My test team will test the updated application. Okay, so this process is okay going continuously, but there is no integration between this process. There's no integration between these stages. Okay, there's no integration. Okay, there's no connection. There's no connection between these stages. So to solve this problem, what I can do, I can apply my DevOps culture. Okay, by introducing my DevOps culture, இந்த இடத்துல நான் என்னோட DevOps culture introduce பண்ணும்போது இந்த ப்ராப்ளமை சால்வ் பண்ண முடியும். I can solve this problem. How? What is DevOps? Okay, connecting your development and operation. See, இதெல்லாம் தான் operations. இதெல்லாம் தான் operations. Developmentங்கிறது உங்க டெவலப்பர் கோட் இது டெவலப்மெண்ட். இந்த பில்டு டெஸ்டிங்ல ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் கீழே வந்து வச்சுக்கோங்க. கனெக்டிங் யோர் டெவலப்மெண்ட் ஆப்ரேஷன், அந்த கல்ச்சரை நான் இங்கே கொண்டு வர போகிறேன் என் கம்பெனியில். ஹவ்? பை இன்ட்ரடியூசிங் அ CI tool called Jenkins. So it's Jenkins is one of the DevOps tools. Jenkins CI tool called Jenkins. So what is Jenkins will do? That's my question. What is Jenkins will do? This Jenkins will connect this all the stages. This Jenkins will connect this all the stages and they will solve the problem. How? Simple. What I do, I'll be introducing Jenkins in my company. CI tool. Okay, stands for continuous integration. Already continuous is happening. Okay, already வந்து என்ன ஆகுது கண்டினியூஸாக நடக்குது பட் ஒரு இன்டர்கேஷனே கிடையாது ஒரு கனெக்ஷனே கிடையாது ஃபாஸ்ட்டாக நடக்கல ஸோ ஐம் ஜஸ்ட் இன்ட்ரடியூசிங் எ டூல் கால் சிஏ டூல் கால் ஜென்கின்ஸ் ஒரு டூல் இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணுறேன் இப்போ வாட் ஐ கேன் டூ using this tool I can integrate all the stages. For example, okay, see what I do, I will connect this Jenkins with my GitHub. First of all, what I'll do, I'll connect this Jenkins with my GitHub. Okay, I'll connect this Jenkins with the build server. I'll connect the Jenkins with the build server. I will connect the Jenkins with the test server. That's all. I will connect this using this Jenkins. I will connect all these stages using my Jenkins. I'll connect all these stages. Now what happened? My developer will develop the application. He'll be updating the code. What after updating the code, what he'll do? He'll push the code to GitHub. After updating the code, he'll be pushing the code to the GitHub. Once he push the code to the GitHub, what I do? Okay, automatically my Jenkins, see, before my build team should manually pull the code, my build team should manually download the code, they have to do the build process. But now, instead of build team, I don't need a build team. Okay, I no need of build team. What my Jenkins will do is, my Jenkins will pull this code. Okay, once your developer push the code to GitHub, உங்க டெவலப்பர் வந்து கோடை GitHubல புஷ் பண்ணிட்டாருன்னா உங்க ஜென்கின்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு நோட்டிஃபிகேஷன் போயிடும். ஓகே, இது மாதிரி டெவலப்பர் வந்து கோடை புஷ் பண்ணியிருக்காரு. Only what Jenkins will do, okay, once your developer push the code to GitHub, some notification will be sent to Jenkins. Some notification will be sent to Jenkins. So your Jenkins will be notified, and what it will do, it will pull the code. After it's pulled the code, automatically it will start the build process. It will start the build process in the updated code. Once the updated code got built, the updated code is converted to application. What my Jenkins will do, my Jenkins will start testing the application. Okay, you may know whether Jenkins will know the testing. No, what Jenkins will do, what I do, I'll be giving Selenium testing program to Jenkins. What I do, I'll be giving Selenium testing program to Jenkins. Now what my Jenkins will do, help of that Selenium, what my Jenkins will do, it will just run the testing program. Okay, I'll be teaching in build process. Okay, what it do, it will start running the Selenium program. Once Jenkins start the Selenium program, what happened? The testing will happen. Once any bugs is found by your Selenium, my Jenkins will send a report to the developer. That's all. The bugs will be sent as a report to the developer's mail through Jenkins. I can send. That's all. In build process, what happened is they'll be using a tool called Maven for Java. If you're using Java, for Java, they use a build tool called Maven. So what this Maven will do, your Maven will compile the code and it will be package your code. So you have to run the Maven commands manually. Okay, before use case, நீங்க வந்து manual Maven commands use பண்ணி you have to compile the code, entire code, you have to package the entire code. Okay, manually you have to do it. Okay, fine. So, but இப்போ அப்படி கிடையாது. What your Jenkins will do, now your Jenkins will take help of Maven. Your Jenkins will run the Maven commands. Okay, your Jenkins will run the Maven commands. What it will do, it will run the Maven commands and it will build the package. Got it clear? So now what happened? See, once developer develop the code, he'll push the code to GitHub. Okay, once the code pushed, okay, Maven dependency is different from Maven commands. Yes, Maven is dependency is different. Maven commands, that means Maven goals. It's called as Maven goals. Maven commands that okay, technically it's called Maven goals. Okay, once your developer push the code to GitHub, your Jenkins will be notified using some webhooks. I will teach later. Once your Jenkins notified, what it will do, it will start pull the updated code. After pulling the updated code, it will give the code to the Maven and it will build the code. After building the code, it will take the package and it will give the package to the Selenium, and your Selenium will start testing the program. If any bugs is found, it will share again to developer. Yes, Jenkins will share a report to your developer through main. Again, they will update the code, push the code. Your Jenkins will pull the code, will build the code, then it start testing. This is called continuous integration because you're integrating all of this process. This process called continuous integration. Clear? Got it? This is called continuous integration. So this is achieved by Jenkins. Your Jenkins will connect all the stages. Now you say, now there will be any delay between these stages. Okay, now there will be any delay between these stages. Anyone? Delay இருக்குமா? இந்த ஸ்டேஜஸ்க்கு நடுவில் டிலே இருக்குமா? இப்போ சொல்லுங்க, நாளைக்கு நீங்க வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட் வீக் நீங்க வந்து சேல்ஸ் போகணும். If you want to go for sales, okay, if you're interested to go for sales, what you can do? Just your developer want to develop the program. Once he develop the program, automatically Jenkins will build the code, automatically testing will happen. Once everything is good, you can be ready for release. See, I have explained another use case. I can't be able to do the payment. I want to buy an iPhone, but in correct, I can't able to do the payment. Now what happened? Immediately my developer will start fix the code. Once he fix the code, he just push the code to the GitHub. That's all. Automatically my Jenkins will build, automatically testing will happen, and the code will push the code, the application will be released to your production. Okay. Deployments will be learning. Okay, just we learned the CI part. So this is CI part. Okay, this is CI part. Okay, we'll be learning CD also, deployments, how to deploy in the production. We'll be learning. Okay, how does it clear about this CI? Okay, how many of them clear? Okay, everyone got an idea? Good. Okay, this is how. Okay, this is what your DevOps solves. I just solved a single problem, a small problem using Jenkins. See, now DevOps, okay, in DevOps, I just solved a small problem. Okay, இதில் ஒரு சின்ன ப்ராப்ளம் தான் சால்வ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், but we are going to solve lot of problems. Okay, software developmentல we are going to solve lot of problems by introducing DevOps culture. Okay, so okay, good. Any doubts you can ask. Till that, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Anyone have any doubts? You can ask. Okay. Good, clear. Good. Okay. Once CA part is completed, next is CD part. Next is CD part. CD stands for continuous continuous stands for continuous deployment or delivery. Okay, CD stands for continuous deployment or delivery. Let's explain what is delivery, what is deployment. But end of the series stands for continuous deployment or continuous delivery. Let's explain. See, once your application is ready for release, okay, this is more important. When your application will ready for release, if there is no bugs, your application will be ready for the deployment. Now, what you have to do when it comes to deployment, once testing is completed, if you deploy means just you're configuring your application in production. Deployment ஒண்ணு கிடையாது. உங்க application எடுத்து போய் productionல configure பண்ணீங்கன்னா that's called deployment. That means copy paste. உங்க application எடுத்து போயிட்டு productionல போட்டீங்க அப்படின்னா, if you configure your application to your production, it's called deployment. So the real-time users can access your application. So it's called deployment. If your application is configured to your production, that's called deployment. It's not big word. Deploy. Okay. Now, what is continuous deployment and continuous delivery? After doing testing, if there is no bugs, if automatically, if your application is deployed in your production, automatically, if your application deployed in your production, deployment just nothing but copy paste. That's all. உங்க அப்ளிகேஷன் போயிட்டு ப்ரொடக்ஷனை பேஸ்ட் பண்ணுறது இந்த காப்பி பேஸ்ட் ப்ராசஸ் தான் டெப்ளாய் சொல்லுவாங்க. அது நீங்கள் டெவலில் பண்ணாலும் டெப்ளாய் தான், காப்பி பேஸ்ட் பண்ணாலும் டெப்ளாய் தான், எங்கே போனாலும் தட்ஸ் கால் டெப்ளாய். ஓகே, இட்ஸ் அ டெக்னிக்கல் டேர்ம், தட்ஸ் ஆல். ஜஸ்ட் டெப்ளாய் யுவர் கோட்னா உங்கள் கோட் எடுத்து போய் கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணுங்க. ஜஸ்ட் டெப்ளாய் யுவர் கோட் இன் த டெவ் சர்வர். உங்கள் கோட் எடுத்து போய் டெவ் சர்வரில் ரன் பண்ணுங்க. ஓகே, இட்ஸ் கால் டெப்ளாய். Okay, so what I'm going to say is continuous deployment delivery. Okay, what is continuous deployment and delivery? உங்க அப்ளிகேஷனை ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக நீங்கள் ப்ரொடக்ஷனில் டெப்ளாய் பண்ணீங்க, ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக போய் ப்ரொடக்ஷனில் வந்து கான்ஃபிகர் ஆகிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா இட்ஸ் கம்ஸ் அண்டர் கண்டினியூஸ் டெப்ளாய்மெண்ட். டெலிவரி அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்காக ப்ரொடக்ஷனுக்கு போகாது, தட்ஸ் கால்ட் கண்டினியூஸ் டெலிவரி. யூ கேன் see code is automatically released. Production code is automatically released. It's called continuous deployment. Code is always ready to release. Manual upload required. Simple. One mail simple. Okay. Now what happened? Testing is done. If there is no bugs, automatically your Jenkins will take help of tools like Ansible. We will be learning this tool called Ansible because this Ansible tool is used for deployments. Okay, most of the company use Ansible for deployments. That means configuring the application in your production server, prod server. Okay, what your Jenkins will do? Your Jenkins will automatically take help of tool called Ansible and configure your application to your production. That's called continuous deployment. That means developer write the code, he push the code to GitHub. The stage 2 is the build process. Stage 3 is the testing. Once there is no bugs, automatically Jenkins will take help of Ansible. See, Jenkins does not have feature of build process. Okay, see, Jenkins inbuilt build process பண்ற feature கிடையாது. Jenkins testing பண்ற feature அது கிடையாது. Jenkins deploy பண்ற feature கிடையாது. Jenkins, what it will do is it will just connect all the stages. Connect பண்ணி, it will connect the stages. It will take help of other tools. Jenkins will take help of Maven and it will do the build process. Jenkins will take help of Selenium and it will do the testing. Jenkins will take help of Ansible tool and it will do the deployments. Okay, simple. If I want to use simply word, you need to build a house. Okay, your requirement is you want to build a house. Okay, what the builder will do? Normally, house builder, what he will do? Whether a builder will know to build the house, like whether a builder will know the electrician work, whether the builder will know the architect work, whether the builder will know the painting work, anyone, whether builder will have all of this knowledge. இருக்குமா? ஒரு பில்டருக்கு வந்து பெயிண்டிங்ல இருந்து எலக்ட்ரிஷியன் நாலேஜ், எல்லா நாலேஜ் இருக்குமா? No. Okay, normally before starting building the house, they'll see some right place for building the house, whether they are okay. No, what they will do is for planning, for architecting, your builder will take help of architect engineer, and he'll make a plan. Then what builder will do? A builder will take help of some construction workers who know to build the house, and they will start building the house. Your builder, to do the electrician work, your builder will go and connect your electrician and it will start start the electrician work. Your builder will go and connect the painting team and it will do the painting process. So your builder will not have all this knowledge. What your builder will do, builder is like a CI, continuous integration. That means your builder will connect all the persons and he will build the house and he will deliver to you. That's all. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right or wrong? Adana builder பண்ணுவாங்க. Okay, I think I explained in English. Once again, I'll explain in Tamil. என்ன உங்க பில்டர் பண்ணுவாங்க? வாஸ்து பார்க்கறதுலேருந்து அந்த வீடு உங்கள்கிட்ட சாவி கொடுக்குற வரைக்கும் அதை மேனேஜ் தான் பண்ணுவாங்க தவிர அதை கனெக்ட் தான் பண்ணுவாங்க தவிர அவங்க உட்காந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. நோ பில்டர்ஸ் வில் டூ தட். பெயிண்டிங் உட்காந்து பண்ணிட்டு இருப்போம். நோ. They will get the help of all of these resources and they'll connect everything and they'll deliver the house. Like same way, what Jenkins will do. Jenkins will go and connect the GitHub and it will get the code. Jenkins will go and connect the, it'll take help of Maven and help of Maven, Jenkins will build the code. Next, what Jenkins will do? Next, Jenkins will take help of Selenium and it will do the testing. Next, Jenkins will take help of Ansible and it deploy on production. Okay, if continuously it is okay after testing, if your application is continuously deployed automatically, then it's called continuous deployment. Then what is continuous delivery? See, now what happened is when it comes to production server, it's more sensitive and you have to handle it more carefully. Am I right? Production server வந்து ரொம்ப carefully handle பண்ணும். You have to handle it more carefully and it's more sensitive. Why? Because if you do some mistakes in production servers, your customer will affect it. Your customer will affect. For example, how many of them face AWS outage and Cloudflare outage? How many of them know that Cloudflare and AWS outage? How many of them know that AWS and Cloudflare outage? How many companies are affected? Okay, there's a company who are using Cloudflare, like Udemy, lot of companies is using Cloudflare. Okay, the companies who are using Cloudflare, they are affected. Yes, sir, I know my company is one. Yes. So the company who are using Cloudflare, everyone is affected. Why? In production, some mistakes have been happened. In production, some mistakes can be happen. Like same way in AWS. In production, some problem occurs. So everything is affected. So production is more sensitive. Failures of AWS that cause cloud-based. Yes. Production is more sensitive. So let's consider you're automating everything. Okay, that's good. You're automating everything. But if you're not planned in the stages perfectly, if you're not planned in the stages correctly or perfectly, what happens? Let's consider your developer develop the code, then automatically code, your developer push the code, automatically Jenkins pull the code and do the build process. Now what happened? By mistake, okay, by mistake, you have done some mistake in testing. Because your testing program is not updated. Some testing logic is wrong. You have given wrong logics. Okay, now what happened? With that long logics, Jenkins என்ன பண்ணும்? டெஸ்ட் பண்ணும். ஒரு பக் மட்டும் டெஸ்ட் பண்ணிடாது. டெஸ்ட் பண்ண மிஸ் பண்ணி. ஒரு பக் மட்டும் டெஸ்ட் பண்ண மிஸ் பண்ணிடும். புரியுதா? ஒரு பக் மட்டும் டெஸ்ட் பண்ண மிஸ் பண்ணிடும். ஓகேனா? நீங்க வந்து ஜென்கின்ஸ்ட கரெக்டான Selenium program கொடுக்கல. You have not given correct Selenium program to your Jenkins. In the Selenium program, you missed a small bug. ஒரு bug test பண்ண you have missed a small bug that had to be tested. Now what happened with that bug? Automatically, my Ansible will deploy that in production. My customer will use that application and they will face the bugs. So this is a problem. So what I have to do, if you want to work on continuous deployment, you have to make strong on the stages. Okay. In the stages, only you clear up. See, Ansible for deployments. Ansible, what Ansible will do is, it will go and configure an application on the production server. That's all. Okay, that's what role of Ansible. For example, உங்கள்கிட்ட ஒரு அப்ளிகேஷன் கொடுக்குறேன் and giving application like consider WhatsApp application share பண்றேன். Who will run that application? உங்க சிஸ்டம்ல யார் கான்ஃபிகர் பண்ணுவா? Who will run your application on your system? You will install it. Am I right? Next கொடுத்து install பண்ணிக்கலாம். Am I right, Aditya? If I share your WhatsApp application, who will configure in your system? You will configure manually. But if you use Ansible, Your Ansible automatically will install WhatsApp in your system. It will do all the setups to use your WhatsApp. You don't want to install manually. Your Ansible will install it. Clear? Clear, Aditya? Got it? What is the role of Ansible? It will just configure your applications. OS level. Clear? Okay, we'll be learning more about Ansible. I'll share the prerequisite video. See, based on the company, Aditya, based on the company, whether they will go for Ansible, we can't do. There's a lot of tools, Ansible, Puppet, Salt Slack. We have a lot of tools. Okay, so based on the company, whether they are going to use Ansible or not, based on the company, we know. Okay, fine. So this is the problem in this. If you not configure your status properly, you'll face this issue. So only what they do is, lot of companies, what they do is they keep a manual approval button. Manual approval button for production. What happened? Same, your developer will develop the code and he'll push the code to GitHub, and automatically my Jenkins will start the build process using Maven, and my Jenkins will start the testing process using Selenium. And what happened? A notification will be sent to my higher authorities like managers, etc., etc. A notification will be sent to the higher authorities. What notification? The code is ready for the production. If you approve it, that means some button will be there or some approve links will be there. If you approve it, I'll go and deploy. What Jenkins will do? The Jenkins will take help of Ansible and deploy the application. Okay, so there will be a manual approve button. So what you'll do as a manager, as a higher authority, you'll be go through it. If everything is fine, you will just click on approval button. Then my Jenkins will take help of Ansible and will deploy. That's called continuous delivery, because there is some manual approval between the production. So it's called continuous delivery, not continuous deployment. If this manual approval is not there, then it's called continuous deployment. Clear? How many of them clear? That means when it comes to production, if there is some manual approval, it's called continuous delivery. If there is no manual approval, automatically a code is deployed to the production without any manual actions, then it's called continuous deployment. Clear? How many of them got to understand? CI/CD. How many of them got understood about CI/CD? So this project we are going to do. Okay, we are going to do this CI/CD project using Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes. அதெல்லாம் நான் பத்தி சொல்றேன். Don't worry. But this is what your DevOps problem solve. DevOps இதான். The DevOps solves these problems. Yes, you're right. And when it comes to continuous deployment, there will not be any manual approval. Automatically, your code tested, automatically code is deployed. But when it comes to delivery, some manual approval will be there, some manual intervention, human intervention will be there. Based on that only, the code will be deployed. Clear? Good? Okay. I think everyone is clear. Yeah, from tomorrow. From tomorrow, we start the project. Tomorrow, I'll give the project overview and we start. Okay, friends. My team will share your Google form. You can the Google form fill panunga. Just fill that Google form so that your attendance will be marked. Okay, in that Google form, what you have to do is whatever you learned today, you have to fill that. Okay, whatever you learned today, you have to fill on that Google form. If you have any doubts, you can ask.